Hello and welcome back to Retopology Masters. In this video, I'll keep showing you how to improve your booleans, get interesting results, and introduce this nice little script, Fast Bool. I'd like to thank Autodesk for sponsoring this series of videos, helping me to produce more great content for you guys. If you want any Autodesk products, Max, Maya, Fusion 360, please be sure to use the link in the description. Alright, so this is a nice cheap little script which you can find a link to in the description, and pretty much it will allow us to speed up how we use booleans in 3ds Max. So pretty much in this video we will continue learning more ways to use splines as well as geometry. So remember our multi-object from previous video, so we can quickly turn this into other things by applying different modifiers here. Alright, so we can of course set this splines to be a hotkey. For example, I have line set to shift 1, so wherever I am I can just press shift 1 and I'm creating a line right here. So let's try and create something interesting. It takes some experience to learn exactly how to get things looking interesting, but pretty much we don't just want straightness here, we want some angles, but of course not too many angles, because once you have too many angles it also looks predictable as well. Right, another thing is that we can apply a modifier like spline mirror. Go into the mirror and we're going to right click here to set it to be at 0, and we're going to also flip that as well. So now we can go back to line and we can, for example, create line, and we can press spacebar. That's my hotkey for show end result on off. Once again, you can set your own hotkey for this, but I use spacebar. Once I press that or click on this button, it's going to show me this, which means as I create things I get to see how it looks like on the other side as well. And so you can see, interesting thing about the spline mirror modifier is that it kind of snaps a little bit. So you can see my cursor is right here, a little bit far away. Once you get close enough, it's going to automatically snap, which is a very nice function. Right click, there we go. So you can get some very crazy, interesting designs using this. Activate snap, alright. Turn off snap using S. Of course, if this is too much, you can go into spline mirror and actually change what the threshold is. So right now, this is 10 centimeters. So let's say that's just too far away. I want to get a little bit closer here without that occurring. We can change it to be 3, for example. So now when I go back into line and create line, you can see I have to move it closer before it snaps. So I'm not even sure what exactly I'm doing here. I'm just kind of creating interesting shapes here. Normally if I was doing this for real, I would take more time to plan things out and just get more interesting, more cohesive shapes. And just kind of do more experimentation here. Alright, let's also create something here as well, where you can hold shift to constrain to 9 degrees. Alright, so there we go. We can go into spline, just kind of make sure we got this happening here. Then we can select all the vertices. And actually, remember, because we decreased the threshold, we need to also just get a little bit closer here. Alright. So, Control A and weld. Now when we go into spline, we can select this whole thing. So if you have shown result on, notice how the red selection is not visible. If you turn that off, you can actually see what you've got selected here. Alright, so then we can just apply edit spline on top of this. And we pretty much solidified the result of the spline mirror modifier. Now I've got this. Alright, so using spline mirror is going to really allow you just to work on both sides and visualize what the other side looks like as well. We can also apply another one, and for example, we'll go back. At this point what I can do is, before I do that, we can actually center the pivot. I've got that set to a hotkey 0. I'll show you that. I'll go into customize and then hotkey editor. All right, let's go into hotkeys 0. As you can see, it's set to center pivot. So it's very nice because as you're modeling things here, it'll quickly center it. If you don't want to set it to a hotkey, you can go into here, the hierarchy panel, effect pivot only, center to object. So if I reapply spline mirror, I can use Y as well. And now you can see a lot of opportunities open up for us to really get crazy with the splines here and just get really detailed, complex designs. We can just as easily flip this, and it looks like a little bird or a butterfly happening here as well. So it's good for kind of certain mechanical animal insect design as well. Very good for sci-fi holograms and panels. Very good for armor pieces. We'll get more into that as well. So we've got that as well. But in this situation, I just want to have this. And remember, we can also very easily cut pieces away. So for example, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now I will use trim, left click, left click, left click. There we go. Don't forget to, in the separate objects, we're going to select the vertices and we're going to weld. All right, spline mirror, flip. We can also right click and convert to editable splines, just like when we're working with polygons as well. So there we go, we can subtract things as well. Alright, so it's very interesting to work with splines. We can then of course extrude, and we can, alright, if you get something like this happening, we can go back here and check what the problem is. So if I select the spline, it may be because something needs to be welded. There we go. So I just had to delete those vertices. There we go. So now we enter the fast bool script right here. So essentially what we can do is add further complexity to this. So what I'm going to do is just press Shift 1, my hotkey for line. I'm going to activate auto grid. And so now we can begin to left click on this to further boolean things away. So I can do this, for example. Alright, so essentially what this will do is it's made to work with both geometry and splines. I also recommend moving it just a little bit up, because sometimes because of normals it can be a little bit kind of rotated here. So we want it to be a little bit higher. What this script is going to do is it's going to automate this process, the process of applying extrude and then moving it to a certain level and then subtracting it. It's going to pretty much do that all in one quick, easy step. So got this thing right here called depth. So I'm going to activate depth, and then get depth. I'm going to, let's say, left click right here. What that's going to do is create this little point helper here. So I'm going to select that. This little helper, don't rename. So it uses point helper to tell the spline how far to be extruded. So right now, if I do the boolean, it's going to extrude down to the position of the point helper, whatever it is right here at its z value. So to demonstrate that, the way this works is that you select the object you want to boolean, so this one right here, get main geometry. It will now change its object color, letting you know this is the active one. Alright, we have bool mode, union, and subtraction, even though it's called remove here. So let's do remove, subtract. Clone cut means it's not going to disappear. Normally, if clone cut is off, this object will be deleted afterwards. But if you have clone cut, it will stay. Next, we have detach. So if I just click on bool now with this object selected, it's going to pretty much delete that geometry. In fact, let's try it out now. All right. So we've got depth on. We're going to select this and bool now. As you can see, it works very well. In just one click, it did all that for us. The extrude, the boolean, and now it went to this level, to this Z position, and it subtracted that, which is very good. So we're going to undo. And this time we're going to click on detach and then bool now. Alright, so now this is a separate object here, which is very good for more complex designs. Sometimes you'll have an object and you want to go ahead and just split off a piece of it and get a different color, different material. This is perfect for that. And so this also has a very nice benefit of making things kind of procedural, non-destructive. So even though when we look at this, it's editable mesh, it doesn't look like it's procedural. It doesn't look like you can undo this. Well, you can undo it, but also what you can do is, as long as you don't delete this object, you can reattach at any time. So I'm going to turn off clone cut and detach. So I'm going to select this object, change it to union, and then bool now. As you can see, we have now effortlessly reattached the object. So what you can do is you can detach things, keep them on a separate layer, for example, and anytime you want to bring it back, you can just union it back together and you're good to go. So actually this is a very nice non-destructive workflow because you can always reattach things. Alright, let's also do some circles, for example. Let's just add one right here and move it a little bit higher. Alright, so this thing right here, this little helper, you can either click on Get Depth and then click, it's going to go to that position. You can also, of course, manually select it and move it like that. So let's give ourselves not kind of a shallow location right here, and then let's select it. And remember, you can always go in here and change the interpolation. So you can have this square, you can have this kind of octagon, or you can have something smoother if it's just too simple. Alright, let's clone cut, let's remove, and let's detach, and let's bool now. Alright, there we go. So we now have this. If we want that back, so you know, we can isolate this or maybe just put this on another layer. And we can just keep working with this. If at any point we don't like this, we're going to undo that. Well, I'm going to switch it to union and select it, and then just, there we go. Now we're back to our original object. So it is a very nice procedural workflow. What I can also do is, what this does is it kind of extrudes straight down. So in order to make things more interesting, what I can do is just undo. And what I can do is just extrude myself. Press F3 just so I can see how deep it is. There we go. I can apply a poly right on top, and I can just kind of scale it. So that way I can get more results that way. Scale it, inset it, extrude, and get different results that way. F3, and then we can just do it like that. And now we've got this result. Alright, so fast bool is good for splines. It's also good for geometry, which is what we have right here. So let's do a little bit of this before we use retopology. So I want kind of a nice pill shape, so I'm going to turn on turbo smooth, symmetry, and the longer capsule. So now I can do things like just kind of scale this. I can use the Claver text script, or I can use select in place, left click on this, kind of move it around. Alright, I'm going to go into symmetry, press 1. I'm just going to kind of move it to get a different size. Press 0 to center it. So it's kind of good to have objects interact and kind of have a nice interplay together. You can see I kind of wanted to follow this angle, so I'm going to just scale it. I can always go back into symmetry, and even though I'm moving it all over the place, it's only going along this angle. Alright, all I have to do is select this and then bool now. And now I have this happening here. So for example, I can hide that and quickly reposition this to another location. Alright, so you can very quickly get mask details this way, and of course keep working with this, keep growing your design skills. This right here, for example, is just a very quick demonstration. It's not, you know, great design. I just want to show you how you can get different shapes working together, splines and geometry, and really quickly modify your geometry to get different results here. Turn off the longer capsule, turn on the bottom scale, and a little bit of maybe chamfer. And now we've got this object. And now we can boolean something else. So now we get this. Alright, at this point, we're going to go ahead and retopologize. So what I can actually do is detach in different pieces. It'll make retopology easier, so I can detach this. And I can just delete that. Alright, for this one, I'm going to apply slice. Rotate it by 9 degrees. And remove the top. There we go. Alright, let's retopologize this first since it's simpler here. Let's make sure smoothing groups are in order. Alright, that's looking good. So we can subdivide. We can of course go with variable curvature. And then retopology. Let's decrease this. I think 5000 is unnecessary here. I'm also going to increase regularize to 0.7 and compute. Alright, there we go. That's looking pretty good. Now let's retopologize this. Alright, before we apply Solidify, I'm just going to check the smoothing groups. Make sure nothing strange is happening here. It's looking good. Retopology. I am also going to increase regularize to 0.7, decrease anisotropy and adaptivity. Alright, let's start with 5000. We can then see what that gives us and decrease it as necessary. And there we go. Very nice results. Just beautiful. Just perfect. Mwah. Perfection. There we go. Alright. So we can do a quick crease set. Make sure all the right edges are selected. This right here, let's increase it to maybe 50. There we go. Alright, so a nice little script for you to greatly improve and make your booleans faster, more complex. Thank you for watching and take care.